Hey everyone, I figured it was time for a collection tour update. My last one, I believe, was in May of 2024. It's now January 2025, and I figured I'd do a little update. So, just assuming you haven't watched any of my videos before, I'll try to go over pretty much everything. I'm not gonna literally talk about every single item because then the video would be 8 hours long. Anything that's unique, I will try to help point out, like this Howard the Duck Laserdisc framed, which is signed by Leah Thompson and Ed Gale. I believe it's the only one in the world to be signed by both. If you know of another one, let me know. This is just random stuff. Duckman air freshener, Trick or Treat Boglins bag frame, just stuff that means a lot to me, or just rare items. These are like those pencil huggers, and unfortunately, they're not able to be seen right now because they're right against the window. But I got some real rare ones there, like the My Pet Monster, and these this Gizmo one, from what I understand, is pretty rare, and the Trolls from Dave the Gnome. But anyway, these videos are always a mix between, am I going too fast or am I going too slow? I don't want to bore people, but at the same time, I kind of want to show everything off because otherwise, what's the point? This rat right here supposedly was a background rat used in the Crispin Glover movie. What's it called? Willard. There was a prop seller. It doesn't look like much. It's just a weighted rat. It was obviously more of a background piece. So, who knows if that's true, but I want to say it is. These guys are from the kind of look, these are the same artist company who made the Genesis Land of Confusion. Those are my Tim Clark original hand-pulled Boglins. I put them over there away from the other Boglins because I believe the rubbers don't mix well. So here's my Simpsons Playmates figures of some NECA stuff thrown in. And this is just a wall of mostly carded stuff. These are some original magnets. I love those. The Maurice and Freaked, Alex Winter from Freaked. And I think it's Veronica Creations. I try to give artists credit, but of course I always have these brain farts when I'm making the video. I love knockoff toys, and that's a knockoff Box Blanca. So I guess we'll just start from the top. That Silent Night Deadly Night figure is actually signed, but I don't know if it's really coming up on camera, unfortunately. There's a one-of-one Ludo custom made by Little Miss Zombie Maker, or Little Miss Zombie. A Star Toys Jake the Snake Roberts, which is very rare. So this is my Star Wars, 3.5-inch collection. I actually, at one point in my old setup in my parents' house, I had a giant, massive setup of all these. Now they're kind of just sitting in the shed. I still love Star Wars, but I just feel like everything I collect, these things aren't that exciting. So I mostly stick to the vintage ones and just other ones that I like a lot. The Yak faces are not real, unfortunately. They're either customs or the reproductions. The Amana Man is real, though. So here's Howard the Duck is my favorite movie. This shelf, I do believe, deserves a lot of attention, in my opinion. Those are customs by Viola Whitrocker. The Howard the Toy is also a custom. This egg was a promo item. Freakland Shop made the statue. There's just another custom carded Howard. A lot of it's custom. The hat is not. But yeah, I love Howard the Duck, and him and Jabba have dedicated shelves. This is kind of my video game shelf, but it's, let's face it, mostly Street Fighter. But there is some other Easter eggs in there, like Mortal Kombat, Streets of Rage, and etc. But yeah, mostly Street Fighter. Here we got, what do you want to call them? I love doing these videos when I can't remember words. That is always fun. Ooh, Funko Mystery Mini Shelf. And there's a lot in there. Some rare ones, some not so rare. And right below that, we got some more, something similar. Kid Robot, Simpsons, South Park, Futurama. These are stretch screamers. I find these really, really cool. You kind of stretch them and they kind of make these like weird farty sounds. Are kind of cool. Here's my Lord of the Rings Toy Biz, kind of like baddie shelf of some stuff in the background. Fortunately, it's a little messy. The problem is with collecting so much stuff, you run out of room and you want to display everything, and eventually stuff just gets crowded. I know there's some people prefer more of a clean display, but the problem with me is I just like too much stuff. So this is what I end up with. Here's like the kind of the good guy shelf, basically, with some mystery minis in front. Thought that was a kind of a cool thing. Okay, so this is the NECA cartoon turtles. I originally had a couple of these, and it kind of just expanded, and now they have their own dedicated shelf. But in the background, there was the Germs World of Wonders figures, which I feel kind of fit into Turtles, right? That's their original loose collection there. This is a shelf with just a bunch of random stuff. And, yeah. And speaking of dedicated character shelves, here's Jabba the Hutt. A lot of these are obviously customs, like Jabba with those boobs. The Pug Jabba. This is just a custom clay Jabba that I got at a convention. The rabbit. A lot of weird stuff and a lot of official stuff. Like this Jabba shampoo is unused. Still shampoo in there. I'm sorry, I think it's bubble bath, actually. Those are made by Boglins, an artist in Japan. They were really cool. And some other just that Maya the Bee up there. I was a big fan of Maya the Bee, and that's actually like a European toy that's like super rare. It just looks like, to the blind eye, it would just look like a little dollar store bee toy, but it's actually extremely rare. I love these little man snail guys by Sad Salesman. Of course, there's Billy Bob. The Eborisk from Willow. Deadly Spawn. All right, we're moving along. Here's some Marvel Legends with the cholesterol cereal guys. This was a custom by Beast Labs. Beast Labs made that Howard the Duck egg, by the way. The Beast Labs E.T. Sasquatch. Some He-Man in there, Marvel Legends, etc., etc. Now we go down to this shelf. Horror shelf in front. All those little sculptures in front are Wolfman and Charlie. He does great work. There's a lot of obscure kind of stuff that doesn't get a lot of merch, including one of my favorite movies of all time, Troll. We got Torok and Gowan there. Love his work. I'm a big fan. And here we go, kind of some NECA figures and some other stuff. That Chet up there is made by One-Eyed Girl. He's a one of one. He was actually featured in a John Waters tribute show in California, and I was lucky enough to purchase him. And one of my favorite pieces, honestly. One of the pieces that I would probably hold on to more than anything else. Count Duckula custom figures. And just general, there's another Count Duckula. This, I think it was like Count Vegetarian, because it's not licensed. Eddie in the City made these guys. Okay, so here we go. Some Futurama, some other cartoons, some David the Gnome. I'm a big David Gnome fan. Custom Duckman, Toe Jam and Earl. I'm collecting the new Jack Simpsons figure, so that's why there's a big space there. I'm like anticipating buying more. So I guess the plan is keep collecting them till I run out of space. That's kind of general my philosophy. Here's some kind of like cool stuffies squished in there, including the new the rat ghoulie, fish ghoulie, and cat ghoulie. That is an original Stretch Armstrong. He's in the box. By original, I mean 90s, not 70s, obviously. And here's some more just random boxed stuff. Stretch Jabba, which originally was only sold in England, I believe. And this is a complete U.S. Battle Beast collection. They're all in front of my TV, so I kind of stare at them all the time because I don't know I'm watching TV. They're right there. It just, like I said, I got stuff everywhere. Some people might not like that kind of thing, but to me, it's just, I surround my stuff with stuff I love. So it's just custom stuff, some other stuff. There's some X-rated Troll there. And they're all on my PlayStations, all my video game systems. But you do what you got to do to fit everything, right? Now, these are my movie Maniacs. I've had these since launch, and there's just stuff all over them, too. Just, again, just to save room. Fit as much stuff in here as possible. There's some full moon stuff. I kind of want the blood splattered blade, the white one, which is, I think, the rarest full moon figure from that time period. Here we go. One of my favorite underrated shows of all time, Farscape. Had these since they came out. I love that squished little doggy there. Now, these might... Oh, there's a tacky structured warrior. I'll get to the Mac and Me stuff in a second, but I find this really cool. This is a bootleg sort of the series Mashems. This is a Squeezem. And pretty rare, but maybe even more rare, this is a Japanese version of it. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like the weird oddball stuff. You know, I love Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and maybe the more conventional, neat, nerdy stuff, but I really just love those oddball stuff, and I feel I kind of gravitate towards that a little more. Here's some of my custom Mac and Me stuff. I love Mac and Me. It's one of those childhood movies that I love, and I can watch it to this day and enjoy the hell out of it, man. I love the design of Mac, and it's a little bit of a Mac and Me shrine. There's the Cheddar Goblin. Here's the My Mad Monster sculpted by James Groman. I love these vintage squishy Halloween guys, and just other stuff. Custom Ludo. I don't know if I got a good shot at those Mad Scientist stuff. I'm probably just passing stuff over that you guys might be interested in, and if so, I'm sorry. Custom Ludo. The Rock Biter is actually a bootleg from Mexico. Here's some more little cool guys. The Giant Trash Bag Bunch monster, and there's the OG. I got some My Pet Monster stuff. That purple guy in the end is like a knockoff. I love my knockoffs. This is kind of a rubbery jiggler shelf. Some of it's vintage, some of it's new. Zach Amendolia, Greasy Creeps, he makes a lot of this stuff. Some of it's new, some of it's by other artists. It's just random stuff. Big fan of Chuck E. Cheese, so there's a little Chuck E. Cheese corner over there, including the distinctive dummies, Harry and the Hendersons. Harry. Got some Super 7 metal guys. These figures are really cool to me, but at the end of the day, they're kind of not that exciting because you can get them anywhere. This is a Weird Bowl Collectibles. I'm starting to get into these guys. I definitely didn't have this last time I made my video, so he's pretty cool. He's still carded. The aliens from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm kind of army building them very slowly. If I can find one usually cheap enough, I get it. But I would like to add maybe one or two more. There's some, what's it called, Mashems. This was basically the Dino Riders line, but sold in a museum. It's the Ice Age collection. I felt the armor and all the stuff. Big AEW fan. Not going to focus on this much because I don't think anybody's watching this to look at my AEW figures, but they all fit in that ring. Here is my Hasbro, WWF Hasbro collection. A lot of these are childhood ones I owned in my childhood and actually played with. Some of them are newly purchased. I have a complete loose collection other than the green card Yoko, which I have carded, but I can't bring myself to open that. And here are the Hasbro-like figures. Grapplers and Gimmicks, Epic Toys, figure collections, and Zombie Sailor Toys. He has his own shelf. This, I believe, was in a vending machine at one point, and I find that really, really cool. So I love stuff like that. I go over this every time, and I'm pretty sure they're in every video, but my 1/6 scale Game of Thrones figures. Game of Thrones is my favorite show of all time. And these are made by 3-0, and they're freaking awesome. Love Game of Thrones. I don't care about the 8th season. It's still fucking great. There's the Hound, my favorite character. I'm glad 3-0 made 2 Hounds. Like, that's a little surprising, but pretty cool. Okay, here's the Elusive Studios Jabba the Hutt. This was one of those things that I would always see in Spencer Gifts as a kid and never thought I would actually own one, but here we are. And he's surrounded by some friends. He's got a woolly mammoth up there. He's got Harry, Stay Puffed, some other custom stuffies, and some old carded wrestling figures up there. By a shelf of a lot of assorted cool stuff up there. A lot of these are customs, and some of them are not. Golden Axe, the Golden Axe Storm collectibles are really cool. Pugaloo. Now, this whole wall used to be Pops. It's really dwindling down here, where I almost have no Pops in this room left. They're all in my movie room. But the ad icons have survived. So this is the ad icon shelf with some little guys in front. Here's my Mattel Classics. Mattel Legends, basically. And this is more like a modern shelf, but I use the term modern loosely because a lot of these guys were from like 2010, 2012, 2013. But that's when I was probably last really into WWE, around 2013, 2014. I've been kind of feigning interest ever since then. And just another miscellaneous shelf down there. Jax, Rocky, the big troll guy. These Dark Star demons, which I was always a big fan of. Mattel Retros. Some more Jax. Jax Classics. This all used to be Funko Pops, but I kind of switched it up. There's my ECW, my original ECW figures, along with some more Jax. It's kind of a wrestling wall. Here's the Funko Horror Pops, which have also survived. So that's pretty much it. All the other Pops are in the other room or just in storage now. By storage, I mean my shed. Kind of got out of Pops. They take up too much space. But for now, the horror guys, I think, can stay, and the ad icons can stay. And this shelf is very fun. A lot of cool things in here, in my opinion, including that shrunken head Boglin. There's the green card Yoko that I've mentioned. And yeah, if I opened up him, I'll have a complete loose collection, but I don't think it's worth opening them. What do you guys think? Here's Gizmo, my major wrestling figure podcast buddies. These things are super comfortable, so I use them as pillows usually when I'm just relaxing. And here we go. So before we get into the Boglins, here's some other cool stuff. Carded Mashems. I have multiple Dinosaur bootlegs. Dinosaur Family, then there's some real ones there as a comparison. Some Mashems. And one of my favorite bootlegs is the South American Boglin called the Maku. He even has the box. So one of my most watched videos on YouTube is my Boglin collection. So if you want to know more about that, you can check it out. But that's my Boglin wall. I think I do have one of the best collections in the world. I'm not saying I had the best, but it's one. I am a Spurs fan, so I'm not really so big into collecting sports memorabilia, but I figured since I've been a fan for like 30 years, I figured that they deserve a little bit of space there. Stretch Armstrong knockoff, where he wants you to feel his skin. Kind of creepy. These are very rare. The baby spitting Boglins carded. I love aliens, and by aliens I mean like kind of like almost generic aliens. So I thought that was cool. It's kind of a little bit of an alien shelf with a carded Close Encounters alien and E.T. Land, whatever the hell that means. So these are the reproductions, not originals, but they still look cool on the wall, and at a lot cheaper price. Carded zombie sailor. There's some Zen. Okay, so this is stuff that's just kind of behind my couch. That's the Sour Power guy. He's a 1 of 1. Made by I can't remember. Cherry couch potato guy. Vintage Chuck E. Cheese, new Chuck E. Cheese. Carded, boxed Ernest. El Temblor, the red dude. He's a El Temblor. I think that's how you pronounce it. King Fingor by Zach Amendolia. Greasy Creeps. There's Homie the Clown. He's hanging out with Bigfoot. And we got some more fun carded stuff like George Liquor, Krusty the Clown, and Melvin from the Meat Canyon YouTube. Okay, here we go. This is just another little random corner of my floor where space is taken up. There's the Giant Man Snail by Sad Snailsman, the plushie. There's Sprocket from Fraggle Rock. He's really fun. Just got him for Christmas. Girlfriend gave me him. You guys remember Army Ants? As an 80s kid, man, I was a big fan of Army Ants. Colonel Stars and Stripes. I don't know why, but I love that performance by Jim Carrey, so I'm a big fan of that. And actually, I'm not a comic book reader normally, but I actually went and read all the comics because of his performance. Distinctive Dummies Brain Dead 2-pack. Big Steve Buscemi fan. One of my favorite actors. Here he is Mr. Pink. Why do I have to be Mr. Pink? That's actually a knockoff Army Ant. Yeah, they even made knockoffs of Army Ants. It's crazy. Demolition Man. These are, I forgot what these are called. Screamers or whatever the hell. They're cool. Little fun Halloween things. We got Terry, the pterodactyl. And along top here is my Walking Dead McFarlane figures. And the Dale is actually signed by Jeffrey DeMunn. Here's the Mego Married to Children. That owl there is gotta be one of the worst figures of all time. So of course I have it. There's it. Bernie, American Hero, my opinion. Usually made by VHS Girl. They're originals. Howard Duck and Troll. Here's another guy by Bakken. This guy's really cool. He's huge. So I'm going to turn on another light just so I can see this stuff a little better. So this corner of the room is possibly the most expensive. Then we got the Trick or Treat Studios Chucky. He is so freaking cool. Like, he's not cheap, but I really recommend him if you like Chucky and Child's Play. And this is what I like to call my 1 of 1 horror section. And there's Gowan, Killer Tech, Killer Tomatoes. But most notable, what I just got recently, were these Trick or Treat Studio Mogwais. And they are incredible. They're so fun. Here's the Fish Ghoulie, also by Trick or Treat Studios. You remember him from Tales from the Crypt episode of Bobcat Goldthwait. There's the Balrog. The Cat Ghoulie. Nightmare Reality Studio made him. but I believe Nightmare Reality Studios, his greatest achievement, hello there, Selwyn, is this Belial. This Belial is amazing. And when he was up for sale, I didn't have a whole lot of money, but I decided to get him. And man, do I not regret that. Got some Puppet Master. I want to add maybe a Jester or a Leech Woman. Trick or Treat Studio Stripe. Various custom, Amok Time has the bigger gate minion. Nightmare Studio makes the smaller gate minion. Big fan of the gate. So this is my 1/6 scale collection, and I kind of wish this was a little cleaner because I could show off all these cool figures a lot better, but the problem is the more stuff I get, the less clean it becomes. The Yak Face and the Man-O-Man are customs from like 25 years ago. But yeah, these are my 1/6 scale guys. As far as figures go, 1/6 scale is my favorite scale. I especially when they're done right and not cheap looking. But I think they just look so much cooler than just a 6-inch figure to me. That's just my opinion. There we go, Planet of the Apes. Here's my Lord of the Rings. That Lurtz figure that was made actually by a customizer who I feel like ended up screwing over a lot of people. So I guess I was lucky to get mine. He does good work though. This is kind of like the Stallone section. Stallone does voice King Shark. Now we're into my horror guys. Killer Clowns, Pennywise. NECA just came out with these really cool Puppet Master figures. I love this Burnt Chucky. He's one of my favorites. Up there we got Gremlins and Predators. Spider Gremlin up there, back Gremlin. Hello, there we go. We got a cool shrunken head. We got a cotton candy cocoon. Up there, we got the original Puppet Master stuff by Full Moon. And some James Bond. Those are the 3 Predators from the Robert Rodriguez Predator movie. And some Xenomorphs. Some more sweet 1/scale goodness. Along with those really slimy, creepy guys made by That's Vile. Check him out on Instagram. He makes a lot of weird, slimy, disturbing creatures. The NECA Mogwais. There's a little bit of a Tarantino section. We got some Walking Dead, along with Predators. Highlander, along with the Thomas Jane Punisher. And we got Toxic Avenger, Killjoy, Albert Einstein. That cool pumpkin guy. It's a custom along with the Sloth. Loving a sandwich makes the pumpkin guy. Vintage stuffy Gizmo. I have a lot of Gizmo stuff. And I feel like since I've named my dog Gizmo, I've acquired more. So maybe I should do like a video of just my Gizmo stuff. All right, so we're rounding it down here. If you stuck with me this long, I appreciate you. Back in the day, these Austin Powers figures were all the rage in 1999, and not something I would necessarily collect now. Still like Austin Powers, but it's not like my favorite thing. But I keep them more for nostalgia because I remember just tracking them down. My mom driving me everywhere to find them. Those are from Austin Powers 3. And this is another really random line. What's not? These are something I did have as a kid. I never would remember them ever. And then I happened to see them at a toy show, so I picked them up. I don't know if anybody remembers those. This is another thing that I really, really got a lot of nostalgia for, was this Make-A-Mask. For some reason, I wanted this so bad, and my parents finally bought it for me, and I thought I was going to make this, like, epic mask, and mine came out okay. Wise Aces. These are very, very fun. There's the loose guys. Danhausen signed figure. And honestly, I think I just about covered it all. If I went a little fast, I'm sorry. Or if I went too slow, I'm sorry. But about half an hour. If you wasted a half an hour watching this, I appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts. And hope you have a good day.